What's up, everybody? Well, folks, the shit has hit the fan, and we are currently in uncharted waters right now. Kevin McCarthy's been ousted, and man, everything just blew up after that point. We have all kinds of crap going on. There's shit tons of stories out there. We've got Troy Nehls, a congressman, I believe, from Texas. He has nominated Donald Trump to be Speaker of the House. Donald Trump has turned down that offer. Marjorie Taylor Greene says Donald Trump is the only Speaker of the House that she would support. Jim Jordan's running for Speaker of the House, which, that's good news. I kind of like Jim Jordan, but we'll see where that goes if he does get it. Steve Scalise, he's also wanting to be Speaker, and he was actually Kevin McCarthy's right-hand man, so yeah, I'm not sure how that would work out. I do like Steve Scalise, but he's probably an establishment Republican, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the interim Speaker of the House sent everybody home until Tuesday, so what's going on with that? You would figure that the interim Speaker of the House would want everybody there, at least for the rest of the week, so they can vote to see who's going to be the next Speaker, because Congress cannot move forward until there's a Speaker. So why he's sending everybody home is beyond me. I have no idea, folks. I can't answer that question, but it's weird. It's getting a little crazy with that one. We also have Newt Gingrich, the former Speaker of the House, is wanting to expel Matt Gaetz from the Republican Party over this. But Newt Gingrich is kind of old, and I believe he's out of touch. He doesn't understand what's going on here. He's probably also just an old establishment Republican. We got to look at it this way, folks. The changing of the guard is happening right now. We're sweeping out the old, and we're bringing in the new. And if you can't hang with that, you got to go, because the old way of doing things didn't get anything done. The Congress back in the 90s balanced the budget. Young guys, they did their job, they got it done. And now we're $33 trillion in debt, folks. And we have insane deficits, over $1 trillion in deficits. That's crazy. So we need crazy action to handle that. But I'm not wanting to get caught up on all this. I haven't talked about Biden in a while, so let's get into some more Biden stuff, because he's plotting. That he is. Get a load of this. Biden suggests he has a path to get more aid to Ukraine. Now, I want to make my point clear, because some folks seem to be misinterpreting my position on this. Okay? I'm right there behind Ukraine. I think Russia is evil for doing what they did. And yes, Ukraine should fight them back. However, our support for them is not just military aid. We are paying the payrolls of emergency workers, firefighters, police officers, nurses. We're paying the pensions for some of these soldiers. We're paying for all kinds of stuff that we don't need to be paying for. And we're just funneling money over there without trying to stop the fighting. My main objective with all this is to get something to stop the fighting. Then you negotiate, work out a deal, see what's going on with that. But apparently Zelensky is going insane and doesn't want peace at all. Look, if you got to make some concessions, then you got to make some concessions, okay? Regroup, come back later, take the land back at a later point when you can sustain your own war. I just don't like government assistance, and I think us helping all that is asking way too much. We have way too many problems at home that we're not fixing because Congress is retarded and can't do anything. But yeah, I mean, I'm right there with Ukraine. They need some help, but continuing to fund all this BS is just beyond me, and I can't do that. I'm sorry. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Aid for Ukraine has been a source of tension and uncertainty as several Republicans in the House have severe doubts or openly oppose additional funding to sustain the Ukrainian military. Facing a likely roadblock from House Republicans on aid for Ukraine, President Biden said Wednesday he's planning to give a major speech on the issue and suggested there may be another means, that's how it's wrote, to provide support for Kyiv if Congress continues to balk. I'm going to be announcing very shortly a major speech. I'm going to make this the issue and why it's critically important for the United States and our allies that we keep our commitment to Ukraine, Biden told reporters after giving unrelated remarks at the White House. White House officials declined to say when Biden planned to give his speech. The president did not elaborate on the alternative method he was looking to get additional military aid to Ukraine in its ongoing war with Russia. There is another means by which we may be able to find funding, but I'm not going to get into that right now, he said. Aid for Ukraine has been a source of tension and uncertainty as several Republicans in the House have severe doubts or openly oppose additional funding to sustain the Ukrainian military, which I do not know why they put that paragraph in there twice. That's almost the exact same paragraph. Maybe they forgot. Yeah, let's go with that. They just forgot that they put that in there and they had to put that in there again. Well, let's keep going. The president said the resistance does worry him, but he noted that there is broad bipartisan support. Still, last week's deal to keep the government open through mid-November excluded the $13 billion in supplemental aid that the Biden administration sought last month, raising questions about just how long the U.S. could continue to send money to Ukraine. Yes, that's my question. First, I'm glad we didn't send that $13 billion. We've already sent 113, that's official numbers, 113 billion. That doesn't include a lot of things. Like I said in a couple of videos ago, if you want to add everything up, it's closer to 200 billion. But they're excluding some stuff because technically we can't keep funding their war for them. Our economy's bad. They just need to stop the fighting. I would be happy. If you want to, send them $30 billion right now. If you send them with some negotiators to go over there and stop the fighting and see if we can't work out some kind of deal. But it doesn't seem like they're interested in stopping the fighting. And like I said, that's my major problem with that. So if they're not interested in stopping the fighting, I'm not interested in continuing to fund the fight that they don't want to stop. Now, I hope that makes my position clear on that. People dying needs to stop. That's my position. But let's keep going. The agreement to temporarily keep the U.S. government open came at a steep political price for former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, at the instigation of Representative Matt Gaetz and other conservatives. McCarthy on Tuesday became the first speaker to be ousted from his post. After Biden spoke, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said during the Wednesday news briefing that Biden was confident Ukraine aid would approved. It's not me, that's how it was wrote. Ukraine aid would approved because there is broad bipartisan support. However, she noted the objections by some House Republicans were an obstacle to the United States' work with allies to support Ukraine, which Russia invaded in February 2022. And why did they put that in there? Maybe they're just doing space filling or something. I have no idea. Everybody knows when that war started. I'm sorry. That stuff like that kind of ticks me off. It grinds my gears, if you will. When you have a small fraction of a party that is causing that type of chaos, you know it doesn't look great across the globe, Jean-Pierre said. That doesn't look very promising. Biden held a call Tuesday with allies in Europe, Japan, and Canada to say the U.S. government still supported Ukraine. Of course we still support Ukraine. But we need to clean our own house up before we can go start cleaning other people's house up. That's what I say. And when I say house, yes, I mean house. The House of Representatives. That crap needs to get cleaned up right now. Right now. They haven't lifted a finger, it seems, to stop this war. And then, on top of that, our own government blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. We know they did it. Of course, that's not proven. That is technically speculation. But come on. Anybody with 2 cents in their brains rolling around can look at that situation and say, yes, of course, the United States did it. We blamed it on Russia. Of course, Russia didn't blow up its own pipeline. That is completely ridiculous. Anybody that believes that is not looking at all the facts, or they are just being led like sheep down a path of destruction, I guess, because it doesn't make any sense for them to do that. They paid for that to be built. Destroying it has no strategical advantage whatsoever. I don't know any good reason why they would do it. I haven't heard one yet. So, as far as I'm concerned, the United States of America blew that pipeline up. But I digress. Getting back to what we're talking about. They haven't lifted a single finger to try to stop this war. When Elon Musk proposed a plan to stop this war, they called him a Putin propagandist. He was propping up Moscow. He was a Kremlin shill, all because he wants to stop the war. Then they also tried to call him a traitor and have him thrown in jail because he wouldn't turn Starlink on to help the Ukrainian military destroy targets inside Russia. Pardon me for not wanting to start World War III. That's what I don't get with all these people that are supporting Ukraine like this. We are on the brink of world war. Russia has nukes. And they seem like you push them into a corner, they're gonna fucking use them. And nobody wants that. I don't want that. I'm sure you don't want that. So why they're playing with fire, I have no idea, but it really needs to stop. And also, it needs to stop because technically we had a hand in starting this war. Now you may be thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Well, when the Soviet Union fell, don't know if y'all remember that. I was a little kid when it happened. But we made a promise that NATO would not expand 1 inch to the east. And what have we done since then? Nothing but expanded to the east. It's ridiculous. Why? How can we be trusted when we went against our own negotiation, our own treaty? I don't know, man. I'm fed up with war. I'm tired of the United States constantly being in wars. That's all we seem to do. We need to keep our nose where it doesn't belong. You know, go help people when they need help. Sure. But we're sticking our nose in places it doesn't belong. Russia also needs to keep its fucking nose out of everybody's business also. They need to get themselves out of Ukraine and just deal with the territory they got. I'm sorry. Message to Putin. You want a land bridge? Fucking make one. Don't go steal one. You idiot. Just doesn't make any sense how these people justify violence like this. It's crazy, y'all. And I could go on forever, but I don't want to make this video too much longer. I was kind of late getting off of work today, so I'm kind of making this video a little bit late, so it might not be quite as long as my last few videos, and I'm sorry for that, but I do appreciate everybody watching. Thank you. Thank you very much. Don't forget to hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button unless you are subscribed, because if you hit the subscribe button again, it will just unsubscribe you. So please don't do that. Only hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Turn on your notifications so every time I put out a video, it'll pop up in your feed. And try to be positive. Peace.